guys, 86 Reviews here, back again with another review, and today we're taking a look at a Transformer. Don't usually do Transformer reviews, as most of you will know, but I couldn't resist because I do love myself some Beast Wars. Dinobot especially is one of my favorite Transformers, Beast Wars characters. It's just one of those shows that I grew up with as a kid. One of those shows that, I watched every day after school, talked about it with my friends, and finally having, Dinobot in masterpiece form is just a freaking dream come true. And yeah, it's the 28th of July here in Japan. A lot of you guys ask me where I get my toys from, and I get this a lot, and I do answer it in the comments. But if you don't know, if you are new to the channel, I do live here in Japan. So I literally just, dropped down to my local store in Akihabara and picked this guy up. Anyway, guys, this is going to be a quick review. Actually, I don't know if it's going to be quick or not. It might end up being 20-30 minutes long, depending on, how fast I go through everything in the box. But yeah, basically, it's just going to be a first impressions unboxing kind of review. I'm sure there are going to be a ton of full reviews coming, flooding in within these next few days, as I know a lot of people are going to be getting Masterpiece Dinobot coming in, shipped in from Japan or wherever they've bought it from. But yeah, just my first impressions about Dinobot. I am a member on the TFW 2005 forum, and I know a lot of people had some questions about this figure, so I'm going to try to answer those questions as well. Yeah, basically just get it out of the box, have a fiddle with it, and show you guys, show you guys who probably won't have this figure in hand within the next couple of days. Just give you guys a quick review of, what's to come. Yeah, but yep, this video non-scripted, just me rambling on about the figure. So sit back, enjoy, and let's get on with it. All right, first up, the box. It's a pretty long box actually. I think it's the first box in its size. Sorry guys, I'm not actually at home at my place right now. I do collect other Masterpiece Transformers as well, and if I was at home, I can give you guys a size comparison to how big the actual box is. But here are my hands. This is how big the box is. I guess you could say it's almost the same size box as Quakewave. No, not Quakewave. Shockwave. Masterpiece Shockwave. When you stand him up, it's going to be pretty tall, but he is roughly the same size as Shockwave, Masterpiece Shockwave, in terms of box size. It is pretty hefty. There is some good weight to this figure, and I don't know if that's the actual figure itself, or if because it does actually come with a base and other accessories as well, and I'm sure that does add a lot of weight to the actual box, but it does feel hefty, so kind of excited to see how heavy Dinobot is once I get him out of the box. Yep, the box design itself, if you guys collected Beast Wars Transformers, the original Beast Wars Transformers, when you were a kid or growing up, it has that dinosaur raptor eye design on the back there. You got the Beast Wars logo, the Japanese Beast Wars logos down at the bottom, and you do need batteries. You do need 2 LR44 batteries for the lights, the light up gimmick in the head. So I'm going to pop those guys in, once I get it out. This is what's on the side and on the bottom, and this is what it looks like on the back right here. A bio here of Dinobot. We got some CG art there from the show. Dinobot in beast mode. Size comparisons with the other Masterpiece Beast Wars figures. Convoy Optimus Primal, and Cheetor. A ton of accessories, really cool accessories as well. Can't wait to get those out. And yeah, just a couple of cool poses with Dinobot as well. What do we've got down here? We've got, yep, down here we've got, let's see, just all the stuff that comes in the box here. But we're gonna get this guy open, and I'm gonna show you everything that comes in this box. So let's crack it open. And here he is out of the box, guys. Still in his clamshell. Just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. And he is pretty big. And as you can see here, here's my hands. My hands aren't that big, but you know, look at those face plates. Look at those faces. They look absolutely gorgeous. You got the tail here, the weapons, some base clip adapters. You got the base down here at the bottom as well. Jeez, I just can't wait to get this guy out of the clamshell. But you also get some decent size instructions as well. You got the golden disc here. Doesn't feel like it's die cast. Yep, it's plastic. You also get the masterpiece card here at the back as well. Another set of instructions for the tail. But yeah, this is all you get with the box, inside the box. Instructions, card, disc, one package here, and the clamshell with all the main stuff inside. Let's get it open. And here is everything out of the box. And there's quite a lot of stuff actually. I'm gonna go through, you know, each item, each accessory one at a time, and yeah, we'll eventually get to, you know, Dinobot himself. But first off, we get the golden disc. It's not die cast, it's plastic. Not painted, it's molded in this kind of, I guess you can say it's kind of a bronzish, goldish color. It has all those markings, if you remember, from the Beast Wars show. And on the back here, it says, there's some like inscription here, the sounds of Earth. And I don't know if that was actually in the show or not, I don't remember. Those particular words being scribed on the golden disc, but yeah, the sounds of Earth. Pretty interesting. Yep, so that's that. We get a couple of, I guess, stand attachments. So you get this stand attachment that actually goes on the bottom of Dinobot, and I'll show you how to do that later on. You get a golden disc holder, so you can display it. You get a golden disc attachment clip that slots in like so, and there's a peg that you can peg into Dinobot's hand here, so you can actually hold the disc. Pretty cool. You also get another attachment for Dinobot to clip into the base when he's in robot mode. So there's that piece as well. You get his beam, his eye beams, that you can attach to his clear head, clear eye head. So those go in like that, and they go in pretty easily, fit in quite securely. Really cool. I'll show you the light up feature later on once I put in the batteries, but we'll save this for later. You get the stand, this attachment, and the actual two pieces that make up the stand itself. I don't know. I'm not sure if this base is supposed to, I guess, simulate, you know, the ship that the Maximals were on, but you do get this, and I'll show you this later on, but you do get two pieces and the actual arm for the stand as well. And you get 3 interchangeable faces, a clear eye face, it's translucent plastic, that's so the you can see the lights when you put in the batteries and turn on the lights for the light gimmick. And you get a smirking, kind of a smiling face here as well. This is not focusing, but I'll show you guys later on. And you get a standard, I guess, a growling face, kind of like an angry. This one's with painted eyes, painted red eyes. His tail, when you take him out of the package, it's separate, as I mentioned earlier. So you do have to actually plug this into the back of Dinobot. And you get his sword as well. The sword is a chrome pinkish color, and it folds out like so. The handle folds out as well. It's a decent size, pretty cool. Looks like how I remember it from the show. So that's all the accessories that comes with Dinobot, and of course you get the the instructions. Big little fold-out booklet here in color and black and white. You get a small little leaflet for the tail, and you of course get the masterpiece card, which, you know, I don't know, like, look at the specs here, guys. Like, you got strength at 8. Okay, that I can accept that. But then you got here, what is this? Intelligence at 5. I don't know. Like, in the show, he wasn't like Rhinox smart, but he was pretty tactical. I don't know if he was average. Like, 5 is average. I'm pretty sure he was smarter than that. You got 9 for speed. Okay. I don't know if he was the quickest guy in Beast Wars. I'm not sure how that measures up. You know, Cheetor was pretty. I don't have Cheetor with me right at the moment, but I'm pretty sure Cheetor was like a 10. Don't know why they made him 9. I don't know what they're basing that on. You got endurance at 5. Come on, like, seriously. Code of a Hero. He took on all of the Predacons and endurance at 5. Nah, I can't agree with that. You got rank at 6. Yeah, okay, sure. Courage at 9, okay. I would have made that a 10, but and you got here Fire Blast at 6. Yeah, he didn't actually have many, I guess, projectile weapons. The only thing that he had was, you know, his eye beams. But then you got here like 6 for skill. 6 for skill. Come on, guys. I don't know what they're basing this on, but 6 for skill. That's pretty low in my books. That should be at least like a 9 or 8. Anyway, that's that. You guys don't have to take this too seriously, but those are the specs for Dinobot. Okay, guys, as I mentioned earlier, the tail does come separate, detached from Dinobot's body. There is a tab here at the top and a plug there at the base of the tail, which slots into the, I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a hole there at the back of this flap. And basically all you need to do is these 2 flaps here, they are attached with pegs to Dinobot's legs, and you detach them and you lift it up on this hinge. You don't want to lift these flaps up because you're going to put pressure here on this flap here, and it's going to cause some stress marks. So you flip it all the way up and it comes up like that easily. You grab the tail. But basically what you have to do is you kind of have to angle it from the bottom, like so, and push it in and up, and it should fit in snugly. Push the flap back down, plug those 2 tabs back into the knees, and there you have the tail on Dinobot. Dinobot's tail is articulated at 2 joints, one at the bottom and one near the middle of the tail as well, and it does go the other way like that as well. Alright, so something that I want to follow up on that I read in the forums of TFW 2005. We got some early in-hand pictures from a member. Shoutouts to that member for posting such awesome pictures so early on in the release. You know, thanks so much. I think we're all really looking forward to seeing, you know, some pictures, some decent pictures of Dinobot. So, you know, thanks so much. But we also got some comments about the shoulder pieces of Dinobot in dinosaur mode, and as you can see here, it sticks out like so much. You know, it's really jarring, and it really breaks up the leg of Dinobot in Dinobot mode. Not Dinobot in Dinobot mode, that doesn't make any sense. Dinobot in dinosaur mode. And this is actually what Dinobot, how he's transformed when you get him out of the package, but there is a way to hide that better. The shoulder here, it does swivel side to side, and that shoulder armor piece does move with it, but it's actually independent of the shoulder, and you can actually slide it and swivel it to face in, like so. And yeah, that's still a little bit jarring, but this flap here, you can actually bring it down so it hides that shoulder armor a lot better. Still, you get, you know, all those robot parts here, but you know, when you have him angled like that, it does hide it a lot better, and I think that's how he's supposed to be transformed in dinosaur mode. Okay, so Dinobot's head, the articulation, he can swivel his head side to side. He looks pretty far up, pretty far down. His mouth is articulated, you can open his mouth like so. His tongue is articulated as well, so you can move that up and down. And he's got a eye-changing gimmick, and we've seen this gimmick before. I don't remember which masterpiece we saw this with, but his head, the top of his head does lift up, and you can swap the eyes by rotating them. It's on a spring. Push them back up, push the flap down, and there you have Dinobot with kind of squinty eyes. And the head sculpt, you know, just looks fantastic. This is exactly what he looks like in the show. Yeah, it just looks fantastic. All the textures, like everything is sculpted. You know, that dinosaur skin, just so well painted as well. Looks really, really cool. For his arm articulation, he can move his arms up and down. They are on a hinge here. He does have kind of a bicep, if dinosaurs do have bicep. For leg articulation, Dinobot does move his leg out one click, and that's pretty much it. You can't move his legs out any further than that. Not that you would want him to, but you know, there is that bit of articulation there. As I mentioned before, his legs do move, swivel in and out, and they are on pretty strong ratchets, which is nice. You can move them back and forward like that, and again, really nice ratchets. His bend here, you can actually move it up and down as well, but if you move it too far forward, you do reveal his hands here, so that is something worth mentioning. Those are on ratchets as well. His feet do move up and down. They don't swivel side to side. It's just up and down. And it does have actual ankle tilt here, which is quite surprising. Pretty cool, actually. His toes are individually articulated, which is awesome. Very cool. All three toes do move up and down, like so. This hinge here, it's not the tightest joint ever, but it's decent. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because when you have Dinobot standing or balancing like that, you know, so you can kind of see that the weight, there he goes. You gotta actually have to try to balance Dinobot so he doesn't topple forward. And I think those joints here at his feet aren't strong enough to have Dinobot kind of standing. So before I move on to bot mode, there is one thing that I do want to mention, and it's these hinges here at the feet. They're not weak, they're not loose or anything like that, but if you do have Dinobot posed, you know, ever so slightly forward, they're not strong enough to support his weight, and they will, I guess Dinobot will topple forward. So if you do want Dinobot, you know, standing up straight, you kind of have to find that sweet spot in the center. There is no problem of him, you know, leaning back because he's got his tail there to support it. But and that looks pretty stupid actually. But if you want Dinobot facing forward a little, he can't hold that kind of pose because those hinges there aren't strong enough to support it. And I guess that's why you got the stand. He's just gonna topple forward like that. So if you want Dinobot standing up, you've got to find that sweet spot in the center so he can stand up straight like that. And there he goes again. Alright guys, I lied. There is one more thing that I want to show you before we move on to bot mode, and that is using, or how to use, this clear attachment for his stand. And why can't I talk? Why can't I talk, babe? Seriously.
Like talk like you talking
to me? Yeah, that's true. Talk like I'm talking to you. Alright guys, so I lied. There is one more thing that I want to show you before I move on to bot mode, and that's how to use this clear attachment for Dinobot's stand. So if you flip Dinobot over, there is a flap here that you can detach. It's plugged in by a peg, and you pull that out. There's the peg hole. You grab this clear attachment. There is a slot here that fits directly into that peg hole there. You turn over so it's facing that way. You want to have that flap going in to that, I guess, opening. Push it down, and it does actually attach to Dinobot's the base of Dinobot. Grab the flap and push the flap back in to the peg hole, and then you've got that clear piece fitting snugly underneath Dinobot's belly. You grab the base, which I did put together, those two pieces, and you got that arm piece here that clips onto the top. And you grab the base, and then you can plug it in like so, and you have Dinobot on his stand, out of screen. Alright, the last shot Dinobot was out of screen, but you know, here's a better shot of Dinobot with his stand all plugged in, and it looks pretty cool. Alright guys, here he is in robot mode, and it took me like an hour, maybe 2 hours to kind of transform him, familiarize myself with the transformation, get comfortable with it, you know, play around with all the accessories, swap out the heads, the face plates, transform the tail, which I'll get into. That's kind of one issue that I have. One issue that I have with the actual figure is the tail, and I'll get into that shortly. Yeah, the transformation was pretty straightforward. It was complex enough for it to be partly enjoyable, but there were a couple of areas that I wouldn't want to transform again, to be honest. And I'm not saying that it was difficult in any way. There was, especially in the legs, the way that the legs form were pretty intuitive, I think. It's probably the most impressive part about Dinobot is the legs. I really like how they actually engineered the legs. The one kind of frustrating part, for me anyway, was trying to get these side panels here to clip into the chest. The way they show you how to do it in the instructions, these two panels are the last parts for the transformation, and getting them to plug into the side to fit in there snugly was kind of frustrating, and it took me a lot longer than I expected it would. But all in all, the robot mode is freaking amazing. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's honestly the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Sorry, second most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But yeah, it looks exactly how it does, how I remember Dinobot to be in the show. Front on, it's flawless. Like, there is no kibble. There's nothing. You wouldn't imagine that this would transform into a raptor. When you turn it on the side, you can kind of see, you know, I wouldn't say it's a backpack, but you can kind of, you know that all of the dinosaur goes into the chest. You know, it's basically reversing, like flipping out the robot mode from dinosaur mode. Does that make sense? Yeah, so all of the blue panels here, when you reverse it, it's the dinosaur mode. It's the dinosaur panels, basically. So you're basically just flipping everything out. Here is the back view of Dinobot. And it's not bad. Like, the backpack, it's not perfect. You can kind of see the dinosaur arms coming out there, but, you know, it's not bad. I think they covered it pretty well. The legs, again, like, they're flawless. The legs are perfect. They look absolutely amazing. The one kind of nitpick that I do have is probably the arms here. When you articulate the arms, when you bend the elbows, that part here, which are the dinosaur feet, they come down with the whole arm because they're attached. They're attached here, and you can just push them back in to kind of clean it up a little bit. But you know, every time you articulate the arm, you're gonna have to do that. When you know, straighten out the arms, you're gonna have to push them in and, you know, fold in that panel to make it look a little bit cleaner. But you know, it's a minor nitpick. The chest is a Forks chest, you know, of course it is. You know, you're not going to get the actual dinosaur head to flatten out like that. Does Dinobot have any die-cast parts? As far as I know, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have any die-cast parts. It's all plastic. Does the plastic feel cheap? Does the plastic feel hollow in any areas? No, the plastic feels pretty solid. It's pretty, you know, hard plastic. They used a pretty hard plastic throughout, you know, the whole figure. Yeah, definitely doesn't feel hollow. There is a nice heft to the figure, but I think that's mainly because all of the dinosaur is, you know, stored in that chest area there, so that's what makes up most of the weight. Yeah, obviously the figure does have electronics, and I'll show that off a little bit later. The finish on robot mode is fantastic on my copy anyway. There is no paint bleed, there is no overspray. Everything is well applied, and it looks fantastic. It looks exactly how Dinobot is in the show. You know, just like how I remembered it. But yeah, feels premium, looks premium. You know, can't be happier with the robot mode. So I'm just going to run through the articulation quickly. The head is on a ball joint, so it does move side to side. It does move up a little, and it does move down, but it actually detaches from the body when you do move it down, so there is that. It is on a ball joint, like I mentioned, so you do get some tilt side to side, like so. And for all of the faces, the actual mouth is articulated as well, so you can actually close the mouth like this and open it, which is a really cool feature, and that's with all of the face plates. For the arms, you get some ratcheting shoulders here, and they move all the way up like that. You get 360, and again, these are ratchets as well. Squeaky. You get some more shoulder articulation there. I think that's the real shoulder articulation. This is actually just, you know, a little bit extra. It's part of the transformation, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it does get 90 degrees at the shoulders there, underneath the shoulder armor. He does have bicep swivel. As I mentioned earlier, he does kind of have double jointed shoulders, but again, you know, this part here comes out. You just got to tuck that back in, push in that panel to fix that. He does have swivels here at the wrist, and he does have hinges as well, which are nice solid ratchets. His hand articulation is great. It's really, really well articulated. I'm gonna try to show that off. So each individual finger is hinged at the base of the hand, and each finger or each claw is articulated as well, so you can get some really expressive poses out of those hands. The bottom two claws here, they are stuck together, so you can't, they're not individually articulated. But again, you got a hinge there at the base of the hand, and then you got another hinge there at the tip of the claws as well. So really cool hands. Going back to his face plates, you get 4 interchangeable face plates. You get his normal painted eyes faceplate here. This is your standard stern face, and again, as I mentioned before, the mouth does move. You can see the teeth in there, which they are sculpted, not just painted, so it looks fantastic. Very clean. You also get a smirking face. He's kind of smiling there. That looks great as well. And you also get a kind of angry, disgruntled face there, which is really cool. Changing out the faces is pretty easy. Grab Dinobot here. All you need to do is just, I find the easiest way for me anyway is to get these 2 side panels here and kind of push them forward, and then you can get that split there. Put your fingernails in there and kind of take it out. That's what it looks like inside. Grab another face, slide it back on. There we have it. So Dinobot's gimmick is that his eyes light up. There is a button here on the back of his head. You push that button and his eyes light up, and those LEDs are pretty bright. You know, I'm shooting this under a light box, and you can see that they light up pretty well. His eyes also light up green, and all you need to do is hold down the button, and there we go, they turn green. He also has his Dino Beam, that's what they're calling it, this effect here, and you can actually plug that in like so. Let me get that to focus, guys, sorry. There we go. Push the button at the back, hold it down, and you got Dinobot doing his eye beam thing, which I'm glad that they did include. Really nice feature. All right, guys, let's talk about the tail. Overall, I like the tail. It is a huge improvement to what we got with the Generations toy, and it's exactly how it should be, and how they transformed it, or how it transforms in the show. You split the tail open as it does in the show, like so, and you can actually put the sword inside there as well, which is pretty cool. So you take out the sword. We'll leave that here for a second, and you've got the basic shield. You've got these 2 pieces here that you got to fold and hide behind the back of the tail there. But the thing that took me ages to figure out was, and unless you read Japanese, this is gonna really frustrate you. But what you got to do is you're gonna push this part of the tail down, and it won't go down with just force. You got to actually wiggle it side to side, use a bit of force, and then when you finally got it past a certain point, you can fold it in. There's a peg and there's a hole, and that kind of snaps into place like so. And that took me ages to figure out, but that was kind of frustrating. Again, with the other side, you just use a bit of force, kind of wiggle it side to side, and once you've done it a couple of times, it does loosen up. Like this part here, like trying to push that down was like really tough in the beginning. It was just like in there really tight, but once you've done it a couple of times, it does loosen up. Again, once it's past a certain point, fold it in, There is a tab here. Just tab it in the tail like so. Like so. There we go. There we go. And there we have it. You've got the shield. And just like the original toy, no, actually, yeah, just like the original toy, there is a spinning feature. You kind of want to unhinge this, I guess. I don't know what to call it. This piece here that actually allows you to spin the shield, and then now it's kind of free moving, and you push that in. This is not going to work. Well, you can push this in and it spins, just like how the original toy did. It's a really cool feature. I think I'm glad that they actually included that in. You know, it's a bit of nostalgia. If you ever owned the original Dinobot toy, my fingers are getting in the way. But trust me on this, it does spin. You know, once you have it on Dinobot, you push that, it's on a spring, and the shield does spin, and it only spins one way. So that's a pretty cool feature. For the sword, I showed you this earlier. It folds out. Nice chrome, kind of pinky color, and that's pretty cool too. It's got a peg here on both ends, so Dinobot can hold it either, you know, in the standard sword way, or you can hold it, you know, like that. So, all right, guys, just one point of articulation that I missed, and I know if I don't mention, I'm gonna get stoned by the Transformers community. I'm just joking, but as I mentioned, there is, you know, swivel there at the thigh, but there's also a swivel there at the knee joint as well. So that does make it easier to pose. Does give it a lot more posability, posability for the figure. So there is that bit of articulation there. But yeah, just my final thoughts, I guess, on the figure. I don't want to talk for too long, but yeah, I love the figure. It's Dinobot, and you know, I've mentioned this, I've said this like 3 times already, but you know, getting Dinobot in masterpiece form is just freaking amazing. It looks spot on to how I remember Dinobot. The beast mode is fantastic. Yeah, sure, it's a little bit panely. Sure, you can see some of the robot, you know, especially around the back. But you know, to be honest, I don't know if we're gonna get, you know, anything better than what we're getting right now. You know, is it wrong to expect a perfect beast mode? No, of course not. Definitely not. I think it's, you know, it's these high standards that we have as fans that, you know, kind of push Takara, you know, to give us, you know, to go that extra mile. And for this figure, I think that they did. I'm not saying that, you know, it's impossible, but the engineering that went into this figure is just amazing. And you guys really have to pick it up and handle it, transform it for yourselves to kind of appreciate, you know, what this figure really is. And it definitely is, you know, definitely is amazing in terms of engineering, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of design. It's a full package. Articulation is fantastic. The accessories we got, the accessories that we get are great. Love the electronics. You know, there isn't any sounds this time, but yeah, the light up feature is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. I like that. Is it worth the $230 price tag? I don't know, guys. Like, that's something that you have to decide. $230 for one person is completely different, you know, for another person. For me, I paid less, so you know, there is that. But yeah, this is definitely a figure that I will be keeping. And I love Beast Wars. I love Dinobot as a character, but definitely worth it for me. I don't regret purchasing this at all. Are there things that I would change about the figure? Maybe. There are a couple of nitpicks. The back of the arms, I think could have been done a little bit better. The transformation, especially around the side panels, you know, trying to get those panels to plug in was a little bit difficult. But other than that, I'm really satisfied with the overall figure, and yeah, just really looking forward to seeing what they do with Megatron and the rest of the other characters from the series. Sorry guys, I don't have any comparisons, any of the other Beast Wars figures with me here at the moment. Like I said, I'm not at home right now, but I will take some photos and I will have them in my Instagram account, so you can follow me there and take a look there. But I'm sure you guys will probably watch a whole lot of other reviews from better, well-known Transformer reviewers, and they'll give you more of an in-depth review, including transformation as well. I skip transformation. Will I do a transformation video? Probably not. That's probably going to take like a really long time, but just take my word for it. The transformation is pretty cool. There are some pretty cool parts about the transformation, especially in the legs. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this review. Like I said before, this was just meant to be one of those quick. It wasn't quick. I don't know how long this video is now, but just one of those videos that I wanted to give my first impression on, just to give you guys an idea of what to expect if you did order this and you are expecting it to come in the mail. It's an amazing figure. Love it. Really do enjoy everything about it. I'm probably gonna do a top 10 figure video at the end of this year, and this Dinobot is probably gonna make that list pretty high up there. Yeah, what else to say? Size comparisons, no size comparisons, sorry about that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the figure, anything that you want me to try out, I don't know, everything that you think that I missed, yeah, please leave it down in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, it's something that I don't usually do. I don't usually do Transformer videos, but I hope it did help. I hope it, did give you guys, something useful, something to take back. And yeah, I will have a couple more reviews coming out this weekend. Still have to do my Street Fighter Sakura review, which will hopefully go up this weekend. I promised you guys that it would go up last weekend, but kind of just got busy. Anyway, this is a really long outro. Thank you guys always for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I already said that, but hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.